Welcome to this special edition of the Tea with April Ryan. And guess what? I'm with one of my favorite people. I'm not supposed to say that, but he's been so kind over all of these years. Congressman Bobby Scott, Democrat of Virginia. We've talked a lot about a lot of different things. He's very knowledgeable. And one of the things I really want to focus in on is what's impending, what's looming, the cloud over Washington, over the nation, over the world, really, when it comes to this government shutdown.
Um, there- we're not even in session. The House is not even in session. The Speaker sent everybody home. We're not supposed to come back until after the government shuts down. So we don't have any control over that. Leader Jeffries has called the Democrats back for Monday night. Government shuts down on Wednesday, so we will be here.
You're going to stay all week?
No, we're going to be here Monday night.
Okay.
We're going to be here Monday night and Tuesday, so if something could happen, we'd be here. I don't know where the Republicans are. In the Senate, they've been told not to negotiate. How do you tell somebody we're not going to negotiate with you, just vote for the bill? I don't think so. And they are willing to, all we're asking, let's discuss healthcare. We haven't had any lines in the sand or anything, but people's healthcare costs will skyrocket. Those on the Affordable Care Act, those on Medicaid, those who will have cost shifted of indigent care, there's a name for it, will have to pick it up. So if you got an employer-based coverage, you go into negotiations with your employer, he's gonna say, well, the healthcare costs just went up, so I can't do much on salaries.
So for Democrats, is healthcare really the overriding issue in this moment?
It's one of the main issues. They're also cut back in nutrition. They've also made it harder to go to college.
So that could be the SNAP issue. SNAP is one of those issues that is up for grabs and it can hurt communities and not just Black folks.
SNAP, and not just people needing benefits. Farmers won't have people to sell fish to.
That's true. That's true.
Why do you think Bob Dole was such a strong supporter of SNAP?
Republican Bob Dole, Republican who ran for president Bob Dole. And that's a very important issue. Now, if the government shuts down, tell us from your knowledge, what will people not get? What will we get?
It varies. You're supposed to get the emergency services, but the
emergency services, because emergency services used to consume FEMA, and now FEMA is on the block.
well, FEMA's been on the block because they want to close FEMA and let the states do it. Because when you have FEMA, as the states, if there's a major catastrophe, states can't do it.
Mhm.
That's why you have FEMA. You'll have the emergency services, the national security, homeland security, those kinds of things, air traffic controllers. The problem is they'll be working, but they won't be getting paid. I don't know how long that's going to last.
Working and not getting paid. Will the military get their checks? Will the post office be open?
Those services, I think, will be provided.
Wow.
We don't know, but based on public statements, the president has indicated that he's going to use it as an opportunity to fire more people. No, not
So
just
he's used to this. He's used to this reality show mentality of you're fired, and now he wants to say he wants to fire more people. That's crazy. You already got those fired.
There's no indication that he has any interest in keeping the government open. There are no negotiations, no discussions. And how do you expect to get a bill? How do you expect people to vote for a bill when you tell them, we're not going to discuss this with you?
There was an attempt of negotiations with Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, but he canceled that.
They asked for a meeting so that we can discuss healthcare, SNAP benefits, or anything else. He agreed to it. Then he canceled it.
Wow.
So there's no indication that he wants to keep the government open.
Your Virginia residents, what are you telling them? Because we want to hear what congressional leaders are telling both Democrats and Republicans in their districts.
Well, we're trying to make sure that your health care costs don't explode and the entire healthcare system not collapse. If you're in a rural area and you've got good insurance, what good is it when the hospital just closed? And how much further will you have to drive after an accident or a stroke to get to the next hospital?
How many hospitals are closed in your area?
There are 3 slated to close right now already
3 slated to
in,
close
in Virginia
in Virginia.
already.
Are they rural or are they in
Most of us in
the
rural
metropolitan?
areas. Rural areas.
Wow.
And these are the kind of things that people, even if you're not directly affected by the Medicaid cuts or the Obamacare cuts, you'll be indirectly affected because rural hospitals will close. People do know how to get sick, go to the emergency room, not pay. The people who go to the emergency room after that with insurance have to pay a little more. Your premium is going to go up even if you have other insurance. And so people have to recognize that there's a lot at stake. And let's discuss it. They don't even want to discuss it.
So messaging, you guys lost the messaging on a lot of issues last time. When Kamala Harris was running, when Joe Biden was in office. How do you prevent from losing the messaging this time, especially when the stakes are so much higher and dire?
Well, all we can do is just tell the truth. One thing we don't want to do is get sidetracked with the Epstein foolishness. The man is dead. Every minute we talk about Epstein is a minute we don't talk about that big ugly bill where they cut health care, they cut SNAP benefits, they made it harder to go to college just to do tax cuts for the rich and run up the debt 3.4 trillion extra dollars.
But okay, you got Republicans who are upset about pedophilia, and Donald Trump's name is connected with Jeffrey Epstein. So you don't think that's
Fine, let them talk about it. I want to talk about the big ugly bill they passed.
okay? I got you. I got you. I got you. Now, you are Harvard educated, but you have a passion for HBCUs, which I thank you for because I'm an HBCU. I'm a big time HBCU.
Everybody in my family went to an HBCU.
But you, oh, you were the one. You were the prize. You were the, but you love, okay, that's, so I see why you have love for HBCUs. So tell me this though.
My father, my mother, both of my brothers, my sister, my nephew, my niece. My niece's license plate is 3 HBCUs. She has 3 degrees from HBCUs.
Undergrad, grad.
Spelman undergrad, a divinity degree from Howard, and
Wow.
another degree from Union.
Wow. And you kind of the black sheep by going to Harvard.
Whatever.
But I know, no, but that's a good thing because, you know, Dr. King wanted us in all spaces, not just in black spaces. So that's what he fought for. But let's talk about our HBCUs. Let's talk about these HBCUs because I understand that there's something going on that a lot of the appropriated funding is not getting to the HBCUs.
We don't know that there's appropriated funding for minority serving institutions that the president decided to eliminate and transfer the money to HBCUs. Now that's on paper. They haven't gotten any money yet. So the way they operate, they'll allocate money and then decide not to actually send it. And that's one of the challenges we have on going forward. They say it's a continuing resolution. Continuing from what? I would like to continue from the last bill we passed. Not the last bill we passed, minus stuff you didn't want to spend and minus stuff you wanted to rescind. If we're going to have a continuing resolution, let's continue. And the money that was supposed to have been spent, spend that money. And so you have this money now allocated to HBCUs. Are they going to get it? I don't know.
So, and you've said in press gatherings during this week that there were going to have to be some enforcement mechanisms if the money doesn't happen.
Well, the idea that they're going to pass legislation and need Democratic votes to pass it, and then 2 weeks later decide, no, we changed our minds and rescind everything, which they can do without Democratic votes. We've been there. They have done that. And so if we're going to agree to a budget, we have to have some enforcement mechanism to make sure that what is agreed to is actually reality, not because they'll agree to anything. They'll put this back, that back and everything, then decide not to spend the money. Well, what's that? There's an old saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah.
They've already done that.
Mhm.
So if we fall for it again, it's not their fault, it's our fault.
So in the midst of all of this hurt, what do you say to the American public, to watch out for Monday and next week?
Well, the first thing to look out for is what are they trying to do in terms of continuing resolution? What do they mean by continuing? The other is, what are they gonna do with healthcare? Are they gonna let the healthcare costs explode or not? We'll just have to see. They're not even negotiating.
Despite how lowly you're being.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I think that it's tomorrow, the next day, next week. This is a very, very tough situation in this nation. And I think all of us, we the people have to gather. Is that true?
Well, people have to pay attention to what's going on. That's why we want to talk about that big ugly bill where they cut the healthcare, they cut SNAP benefits, they made it harder to go to college, to pay for tax cuts for the rich and run up the debt.
So the big, beautiful bill is the big, ugly bill, Democrats have termed, and it makes sense. So there's a lot of hurt. And what I've already heard, over 300,000 Black women have lost their jobs in 4 months. And then you already have hundreds of thousands of people across the nation that have already lost jobs from Doge firings. So we're already in a shutdown, if you would say, and then we're going to add the official shutdown. Is that true?
Well, we're gonna see what they mean. We don't know, but the president has shown no interest in keeping the government open after September 30th.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you. This is Virginia Democratic Congressman Bobby Scott. He is amazing. He's going to be in Washington on Monday. The government is shut down, but he's going to be in Washington
Along with the rest of the Democrats.
on Monday with the rest of the Democrats. So there you have it. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So we're going to have that special situation. Sir. All right, we ready? I'm gonna go back over there and then we're gonna come back, okay? Okay.
Good, thank you.
I appreciate you, sir.
Right.
Oh, be careful. That was going to.